Chosen one, you will spend money like waterfall. You can make this. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a prophecy in motion, a divine forecast, a spiritual truth that is beginning to manifest in your life. You're entering a time when abundance will no longer knock on your door gently. It will crash through with the force of a mighty waterfall, unstoppable and overflowing. This is not the season of barely making it. This is the moment of limitless provision, ease of wealth, and joyful spending. The struggle with money, with holding back every purchase, with hesitating before every bill, that version of your life is evaporating into the mist. What's arriving now is financial freedom that flows effortlessly, like cascading waters, beautiful and uncontainable. Before we dive into this sacred revelation, I encourage you to watch this video until the very end. There is an energy, a shift, a spiritual activation that builds with every word, every sentence. Let yourself absorb it fully, and when you feel it, when the message stirs your spirit, write your warmest wishes and the number 99 in the comments. This is a chapter about wishes coming true and energizing the universe. Your declaration is a part of this collective awakening. You are not alone in this. Many are rising with you. Many are watching their old financial identities dissolve and new limitless realities take shape. Now, chosen one, understand this. The universe is no longer letting you live small. You've already proven yourself in drought seasons. You've tasted the bitterness of lack, the anxiety of checking your balance before buying groceries, the restraint of never spoiling yourself, even when you wanted just a small piece of joy. But that was the old training ground. It was the classroom where your soul learned how to hold on to faith when nothing made sense. And now, because you didn't give up in that silence, because you didn't settle or become bitter, you are being handed the keys to a floodgate that is about to open. Money is not going to trickle in anymore. It will gush, it will overflow, and you will spend it with grace and power. You won't hesitate to give. You won't second-guess upgrading your life. The fear of going back to not enough will be washed away by a new truth. You were never meant to live in survival mode forever. That chapter has closed. What opens now is overflow. What opens now is the ability to say yes to opportunities, to experiences, to dreams that once felt impossible. And no, this is not just about cash in your hand. It's about alignment. You are aligning with a stream of abundance that is eternal, renewable, and responsive to your belief. You are starting to see wealth not as something you beg for, but something you embody. You are becoming the person who attracts wealth without chasing it, who magnetizes money through their mindset, presence, and spiritual position. You're stepping into rooms you once felt unqualified to be in, not because you've changed who you are, but because your energy has risen to meet the level of your calling. People will wonder how you suddenly began to afford the things you once whispered prayers about, but they won't know the nights you cried in silence. They won't understand the depth of your patience or the war you fought in your spirit to believe even when nothing looked like it was working. You don't need to explain. Just keep flowing. Let the money come and let it go where it needs to. Bless what you buy. Bless who you gift. Spend like someone who knows more is always on the way. That's your truth now. You will spend money like a waterfall because your cup is full, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, energetically. You're not buying things to fill a void anymore. You're buying because you're already whole, and abundance is a natural byproduct of that wholeness. This is the shift of wealth from force to flow, from scarcity to saturation, from wishing to receiving. And it's not a one-time miracle. It's a new way of living. Day after day, week after week, year after year. Your frequency has changed. And because of that, your finances will never be the same. There will be days when you'll look at your bank account and smile, not because of the numbers, but because of what it represents. It's proof of your inner work. It's evidence that spirit responds to faith. It's validation that your surrender wasn't weakness. It was wisdom. You trusted in something bigger, and now that something is repaying you in overflow. This season is not just about money. It's about permission. You are being granted divine permission to live well, to enjoy, to relax, to experience life at a higher level without guilt. The poverty mindset is no longer yours to carry. It served its purpose in the past, but now it would only limit your expansion. And you were not chosen to be limited. You were chosen to show what's possible when a heart remains faithful, when a soul refuses to be bitter, and when a dreamer keeps dreaming even after years of delay. This is your payback. This is your reward. This is your elevation. You will spend money like a waterfall because you are no longer afraid of flow. You are no longer clinging to pennies when you were always meant to manage millions. You are no longer discounting yourself when heaven has already marked you as premium. You are no longer asking if you deserve it. You're receiving it because you were made for it. And don't be surprised when strange miracles start following your footsteps, when unexpected deposits, surprise opportunities, random blessings begin to flood your reality. That's just the energy of the waterfall responding to you. That's just the universe matching your upgraded frequency. That's just the abundance you've always carried inside, finally reflecting itself outside. Keep walking in faith. Keep showing up. Keep expecting overflow. Keep blessing every dollar. Keep believing it's your time. Because chosen one, it is. The poor version of you is gone. The broke, stressed, restrained version of you has expired. The abundant you, the free you, the generous you is here. And they are going to spend money like a waterfall. You've entered a financial identity upgrade, and there's no going back. The systems that once kept you trapped in fear around money are collapsing. The timelines where you had to count every coin before you made a move are no longer active. You've quantum leaped out of them. You're now in the dimension where decisions are based on alignment, not affordability. And that shift alone is changing everything. You're no longer saying, "Can I afford this?" You're asking, "Is this aligned with the abundant version of me?" And when it is, the resources appear. The path clears. The funds arrive. The universe says yes. Every step you take now is on abundant ground. You're not begging to be supported. You are expected to be supported. You're not praying for scraps. You're receiving full tables of provision. And you don't need to know the exact how. The waterfall never worries about the cliff's edge. It just flows. That's your new posture. That's your new rhythm. Unworried, unstoppable, unapologetic. You are building a relationship with wealth that is rooted in peace, not performance, in joy, not pressure, in identity, not labor. You are remembering that wealth is not something you earn. It's something you align with. And you've done the inner work. You've cleaned up the beliefs that said money was hard, or money was evil, or money meant you were selfish. You now see money for what it truly is: energy, flow, support, expansion. And now that your view is healed, the stream can flow without interruption. The reason money is pouring in now is because your inner resistance has finally dissolved. You've unblocked your channels. You've forgiven yourself. You've released guilt. You've declared, I am ready to receive without shame. And the universe heard you. No more buying the cheapest option because you're scared. No more choosing less because you're used to lack. You are now choosing based on truth, not trauma. Based on vision, not fear. Based on worthiness, not wounds. It's okay that others won't understand how fast things changed for you. They weren't there when you stayed faithful in the storm. They didn't see the nights you laid awake crying, but still declaring, I know my time is coming. They didn't feel your pulse accelerate every time a bill came in, yet still, you held on to your power. They didn't witness your quiet commitment to trust when nothing gave you a reason to, but the universe did. And now the reward is undeniable. You're being trusted with more, not because you chased it, but because you became it. You became someone who could steward overflow with wisdom, with generosity, with grace. And now the flow matches your identity. Now the water finds its rightful vessel, you. And this flow won't come once and vanish. It will return again and again, like rain that never forgets where to fall. Why? Because money now recognizes you as safe ground. You've become a sanctuary for wealth. You've become a portal where divine provision can move freely and purposefully. You won't hoard it out of fear. You won't misuse it out of ego. You'll circulate it with love, with clarity, with alignment. That's why you'll keep receiving. That's why you'll keep overflowing. And you'll start noticing something subtle but powerful. The way people treat you begins to shift. They won't even realize it, but something in them will start to sense your abundance. Not because you're flashy, but because your energy speaks wealth. Your calm presence says, I am supported. Your confidence whispers, I lack nothing. Your choices scream, I'm aligned with overflow. You'll walk into spaces you used to tiptoe through, and now the room will adjust to you. You'll begin to inspire without trying. Others will watch you spend with joy and wonder how you reached this place. They'll ask, how did you do it? And you'll smile, not because it's a secret, but because the answer is simple. You believed, you healed, you surrendered, you rose, and now you spend money like a waterfall, because that's what waterfalls do. They pour without fear. They rush with elegance. They replenish the earth. They bless everything in their path. That's you now, a walking waterfall, a river in motion, a financial phenomenon. You don't just have abundance, you are abundance. And that identity will carry you further than numbers ever could. Let others play it small. Let others cling to the shore. You are made to flow. There is a reason why you feel different lately, why the things that used to excite you no longer do, why your old budget mindset is clashing with your new desires, why you're feeling a strong inner pull to live bigger, bolder, freer. It's because your soul has already accepted what your outer reality is just beginning to reflect. You've been upgraded. The days of shrinking your light to fit inside a discounted lifestyle are over. Your energy no longer matches those tight corners. That's why you're uncomfortable with settling now. That's why your old ways of spending cautiously out of fear just don't feel right anymore. Because you were never meant to spend like someone surviving. You were meant to spend like someone glowing, like someone chosen. And let's be clear, this isn't about reckless spending. This isn't about chasing status or impressing others. This is about living in flow, not fear. It's about trusting that money is a renewable resource, not a one-time gift you need to protect with paranoia. You will spend freely, not carelessly, but confidently. Not foolishly, but faithfully. And because of that, you'll notice how money treats you differently. It won't resist you anymore. It won't slip through your fingers. It will rest in your palm with peace. because it knows it's in good hands. Hands that respect its energy. Hands that know how to multiply it. Hands that use it for purpose, not just possession. You're stepping into a version of you that knows how to use wealth as a tool, not an idol. You're not worshipping money. You're wielding it. You're directing it. You're flowing it where it's most aligned, into experiences that uplift you, into homes that inspire you, into moments that heal you, into dreams that expand you, and yes, into generosity. Because now, your spending is not just about you. It's about those connected to your overflow. Family, friends, strangers you're called to bless, communities you're called to uplift, movements you're meant to fund, causes you're meant to fuel. You've always had a giving heart, but lack kept your hand closed. Now that abundance is your new reality, you can open both. Open your hands, open your wallet, open your life. Let the blessing pass through you. You'll start seeing signs that money is arriving faster than it ever has before. You'll get refunds you didn't expect, deposits you forgot about, deals that favor you, unexpected yeses. You'll look around and realize, money loves to be where I am. Money finds me. Money is magnetized to my vibration. And no, it's not a coincidence. It's a confirmation. A confirmation that your financial energy field has shifted from scarcity to sovereignty, from fear to freedom, from anxiety to certainty. You now expect money, not because you're entitled, but because you're aligned. And here's the secret. Most people never learn. Money follows emotion. Not just effort, not just strategy. It follows the emotion you carry when you think about it. That's why, when you used to feel panic, it disappeared. But now that you feel peace, it flows. This is emotional alignment with abundance. This is the inner work turning into outer wealth. And this is just the beginning. You will be surprised how quickly your outer world rearranges itself to serve your new belief system. You'll find yourself walking into luxury stores with no hesitation. You'll upgrade your wardrobe, your car, your environment. And not because you're trying to prove anything, but because it's finally normal to treat yourself as royalty. It's not arrogance, it's resonance. You're resonating with a higher standard now. You're responding to a new reality where your inner worth is reflected in your outer world. You'll stop apologizing for wanting more. You'll stop dimming your vision to keep others comfortable. You'll stop pretending you don't care about money, because you do, and you should. Money is power, and you're ready to handle it with wisdom. No more avoiding price tags. No more skipping the experience. No more settling for just enough, because just enough doesn't match the energy of someone chosen to lead, to give, to build, to thrive. You've entered your waterfall season. The pressure has been building behind the dam of your past, but now the wall has cracked. The river of wealth has remembered your name, and it's rushing toward you, faster than ever before. You'll be shocked at how normal it becomes to live with more than enough. You'll forget the panic you used to feel. You'll forget the guilt you used to carry. You'll forget the poverty programming that whispered, "You're asking for too much." You're not. In fact, you were asking for too little. The universe has always wanted to give you more, but it was waiting for you to believe it was possible. It was waiting for you to say yes to being the one who breaks every generational pattern of lack. And now that you've said yes, the blessings are running toward you with full force. Let others question your success. Let others misunderstand your rise. Let others whisper about how you got here. You don't owe them your story. You don't owe them an explanation. What you do owe to yourself, to your destiny, to the divine plan, is your full participation in this overflow. You are not here to dim. You are here to drip, to pour, to flow, to overflow. Every financial decision you make now will come from a place of strength, not survival. You will stop hesitating. You will stop shrinking. You will start saying yes with authority. You will start expecting the best, and you will start receiving the best. Because you're in your waterfall era, and the water isn't stopping anytime soon. You were never meant to count coins under pressure. You were meant to distribute wealth without fear. You were never meant to live on leftovers. You were meant to taste the fullness of what life has to offer. And now you will, with joy, with power, with elegance, with divine permission. Because chosen one, you are financially free, and you will spend money like a waterfall. Let the overflow become your new normal. Let the sound of abundance become as familiar to you as your own breath. You are not in the season of hoping for scraps. You are in the season of watching heaven lay the table before you. And not just for you to eat, but for you to feast, to host, to bless, to celebrate. You see, chosen one, the reason the waterfall image is so powerful is because it represents limitless motion. Waterfalls don't hesitate. They don't slow down. They don't stop halfway. They release everything with confidence. That's you now. You're releasing fear, releasing guilt, releasing every lie that told you you were too much or not enough or didn't deserve a life of ease. You're beginning to trust the flow. You're beginning to understand that money is not about hard work. It's about heart alignment. You can work for it, yes, but you can also magnetize it. And you are. Every thought you have that says, "I am ready for more," sends a signal. Every time you declare, "I no longer accept lack," the universe answers. And it's not responding with small, quiet whispers anymore. It's responding with loud, undeniable, overflowing evidence. You're not imagining this transformation. You're not faking this glow-up. This is real. This is earned, not through pain, but through presence. Not through striving, but through surrender. You let go of control. And now, you're being carried by the current. Opportunities will begin to chase you. Doors will open faster than you can knock. People will begin to ask you to name your price. And they'll pay it, because they feel the energy you carry. Your energy is now currency. Your alignment is now income. Your vibration is now value. You are the waterfall. And let's talk about something important. How spending will feel now. It will feel sacred. Before, you used to spend from fear. Even necessary purchases felt stressful. Even small indulgences made you feel guilty. You'd ask yourself, should I really be doing this? As if joy was something you had to earn. But now, you spend from alignment. You spend because you are choosing joy, because you are safe, because you are provided for, and because you know something most people don't. The money you spend returns multiplied. You're not wasting, you're circulating. You're not losing, you're activating. The universe doesn't take from you, it reflects you. And when you spend from joy, joy returns. When you spend from peace, peace grows. When you spend like a waterfall, the source keeps pouring. You'll notice the shift when simple things start changing. No more anxiety when you tap your card. No more looking at your account with dread. No more playing small in your choices. You'll shop with calm. You'll invest with vision. You'll tip with joy. You'll give with power. Because now, your money has purpose. And you have mastery. You've remembered who you are. And when the chosen one remembers, they receive. Everything you were once scared to ask for is now asking for you. Luxury is calling. Peace is calling. Freedom is calling. And you're finally answering. This is why you'll spend money like a waterfall. Not because you're reckless, but because you're rooted. Not because you're showing off, but because you're tuned in. Not because you're impulsive, but because you've ascended to a space where ease is your new operating system. And it's not just the outer wealth that has grown, it's the inner posture. You used to panic over bills. Now you bless them. You used to resist upgrades. Now you expect them. You used to shrink when money came. Now you expand. This is what it means to be in overflow. People may think you're lucky, but you're not. You're aligned. You're not just a receiver of wealth. You're a distributor, a faucet, not a reservoir, a river, not a puddle. And the more you let it flow, the more the source blesses you. Money was never the enemy. It was the mirror. And now, the reflection it's showing you is divine, powerful, beautiful, limitless. And yes, you'll spend it boldly. On trips that reset your soul. On gifts that shock your loved ones. On upgrades that match your frequency. On experiences that make you say, "This is the life I was born for." Because you were. You were never made to live small. You were never meant to apologize for wanting more. You were never designed to feel guilty about comfort. You were chosen to rise, to shine, to circulate light and wealth like waves of water moving through every part of your life. The waterfall doesn't ask permission. It doesn't whisper. It roars. And that's your energy now. You walk into spaces differently. You look at money differently. You feel yourself differently. And the world is responding. Financial doors are opening. Streams are multiplying. Wealth is being magnetized to your essence. Not because you're greedy, but because you've healed. Because you've decided to stop pretending you're not divine. Because you're finally embodying what's always been true. You're chosen. You're covered. You're abundant. And you're about to spend money like a waterfall for the rest of your life. Chosen one, listen closely. Because what's happening now is beyond wealth. You are being reintroduced to yourself. Not the version of you that adapted to lack. Not the version of you that tolerated just enough. But the version of you that remembers what it means to expand without fear. Money is just the mirror. The real shift is within you. You've recoded your mind. You've unlocked your emotional vaults. You've cleared the energetic debris that was keeping you tied to survival. And now, your soul is being restored to its natural rhythm. Abundance. This is why the waterfall is such a powerful metaphor. It doesn't just flow because it's full. It flows because it is connected to the source, to the mountain, to the sky, to the endless cycle of giving and receiving. The waterfall never questions if more is coming. It just pours. That's your new financial frequency. You've severed ties with the illusion that you have to earn worthiness. You've broken contracts with the generational beliefs that called money evil. You've deleted the subconscious files that said, "You'll never have enough." And in doing so, you've freed the path. Now your prosperity isn't delayed. It's delivered. You'll wake up one morning soon and realize the struggle energy has left your body. You'll feel lighter. You'll breathe easier. You'll know that you're supported without having to prove it. That's the power of spiritual wealth. It's not about what's in your wallet, it's about what's in your spirit. And your spirit is rich. Overflow is now your baseline. And here's what happens next. Money will begin responding to your confidence, not your circumstances. You won't have to explain yourself to banks, to bosses, to clients, to anyone. Your energy will say it all. You are a person of wealth. And because you are, life is rearranging itself around your knowing. You'll notice divine discounts show up in places you didn't expect. You'll get things randomly on sale that you had already decided to buy. That's the universe rewarding your clarity. It's not coincidence. It's divine choreography. You will start to receive gifts, both tangible and energetic, from people who want to be near your frequency. And it won't be because they're trying to impress you. It'll be because your overflow activates something in them. Your presence reminds them of their own abundance. And that's the ripple effect of walking as a waterfall. You are no longer the thirsty one. You are now the quench. People will feel calmer around you, not because you're trying to be anything, but because you've mastered the art of trusting the flow. You've become a lighthouse in a world of scarcity storms. You're not here to compete. You're here to radiate. And that's why you'll keep receiving. Because when you no longer chase, you attract. When you no longer beg, you bless. When you no longer plead, you proclaim. Your money won't just go toward bills and needs anymore. It will go toward visions, toward soul-aligned decisions, toward things that pull you forward and light you up. You'll buy from purpose. You'll invest from wisdom. You'll spend with anointing. This is what it looks like when heaven funds your mission. Because make no mistake, this is a mission. You've been chosen not just to receive, but to redefine. You're the one who changes the story. You're the one who breaks the narrative. You're the one who walks into spaces that told you people like you don't belong here, and you bless that space with your presence. You don't just spend money like a waterfall. You shift atmospheres like one. Wherever you go, the old energy clears. Wherever you go, new possibility rises. Wherever you go, the narrative changes from not enough to more than enough. You're walking proof that it's possible to heal and still have wealth, to rise and still be kind, to be rich in money and richer in spirit. You've been conditioned to think abundance is something you chase, that wealth is something reserved for the few, that money must be hard-earned and painfully collected. But the truth is, wealth flows to those who have aligned with its frequency. And that frequency starts with belief, not the shallow kind, not surface-level affirmations, but a deep, embodied knowing that says, money is meant to flow through me, not avoid me. You've made sacrifices, you've stayed consistent, you've done the work in silence, and now you're stepping into the reward season. But for this wealth to stay, your mind must expand. You must upgrade your self-worth to match the level of provision you are about to receive. You cannot walk into a season of waterfall money thinking like a drought survivor. Everything is energy, and your relationship with money is not about numbers, it's about alignment. If you feel uneasy receiving, you will repel what's meant for you. If you feel guilty about spending, you will interrupt the flow. If you cling to every coin, thinking it might be your last, you send a message to the universe that says, I don't trust you. And trust is the currency that unlocks divine provision. You're not meant to just have enough. You're meant to have overflow, not for ego, but for impact, for movement, for expression, for contribution. Money is a tool, and you are its master. But the master must think differently. The master must believe differently. The master must act as though the waterfall has already been turned on. This isn't just about manifestation, it's about embodiment. Who are you when the wealth comes in? Who are you when the digits change? Do you shrink? Do you spend in fear? Or do you become the riverbed for divine flow? Knowing it was always meant to come through you, you are shifting into a season where purchases will feel weightless, where giving will become a joy, where what once broke the bank now feels like a drop in the ocean. Because you've done the internal work. You've cleared the blocks. You've stopped begging and started expecting. An expectation is magnetic, but you must stay clear. There will be temptations, people who want access to your overflow without honoring your growth. Old mentalities trying to pull you back into scarcity. Triggers that whisper, "Don't spend, it might not come again." You must silence them, not with logic, but with truth. The truth that says, "Money is my servant, not my master." You will spend money like a waterfall, not because you're reckless, but because you're rooted. Because you understand that what flows out returns multiplied. Because your generosity is an act of trust. Because your spending is no longer reactive, it's intuitive, intentional, and inspired. You're not building wealth for vanity. You're building it for freedom, for legacy, for alignment. You were never meant to live in lack, and now you never will again. Part 8. There will come a time, very soon, when you look back on the struggle and smile. Not because it didn't hurt, but because it didn't break you. It prepared you, it refined you, it burned away the scarcity so the wealth could enter a vessel that knew its value. You are that vessel now. You are ready. You've detached from desperation. You've healed the fear around not having enough. And now, what you used to pray for is being wired into your account. Automatically, consistently, overflowing. Not just enough to survive, but enough to circulate, to bless, to enjoy. You will swipe without hesitation, give without worry, travel without calculation, and live without guilt. Because you've paid the price in discipline, in faith, in patience. You've earned your ease. You've earned your flow. You've earned your waterfall. This is the era of divine transactions. You don't just work for money. Money works for you. It obeys your intention. It multiplies your alignment. It listens to your frequency. You're not asking anymore. You're commanding. Not from ego, but from embodiment. You've become the version of yourself that money trusts. No more small thinking. No more playing safe. No more budgeting blessings out of fear of the future. You are the future, and your frequency is the forecast. Abundant, overflowing, unstoppable. Every cent you spend echoes gratitude. Every dollar you circulate creates impact. Every purchase is a prayer in action. I am provided for. I am safe. I am abundant. And I will never shrink again. So breathe, celebrate, flow. Because the waterfall is here. And it's not stopping anytime soon.